I know I need to size up with you, and when I defang the Viper, trust me, ain't gonna come from nowhere. Jeff, I already put you out. I don't even know why you're out here right now. Keep on talking. Hey, do me a favor. Why don't you act like this is an AA meeting and you shut your mouth while I'm sharing with the group? And Mustafa, you out here, a boy among men. And I'm gonna tell you what, you got lucky at the Rumble, so I know you're gonna come out here and run your mouth about how bad you are. But let me give you a little bit of a reality check. You see, Mustafa, you said that my eyes don't lie. Well, your eyes don't lie either, because last week, they were closed real tight when I put your simple ass to sleep. And AJ, hey man, be honest with me. How's our old girl Wendy doing?
Welcome back to the Clark Street Wrestling Podcast. It's me, Hafeez, and with me as always, Devin. And we are about to kind of do something a little bit different here, talk about the state of champions in WWE, in AEW, and not NXT. Now, why I say not NXT is basically, where we kind of left off in our pre-show.
That's cold-hearted.
Well,
That's
hey,
cold-hearted.
Look, here's the
thing. It should be NXT, especially for Tommaso Ciampa. That's disrespectful. I can see if it was a new.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, you the one that kicked it off already.
Let's do it. All right.
I can see if it was like Braun Breaker, someone new, Von Wagner. You know what I'm saying? But this is Tommaso Ciampa. He's from the old black and gold, the gold standard, sir. Mm-hmm. And you can't accept that.
No.
Oh my God.
The show just sucks. The show sucks, and it kills me. And I don't want to support it and watch it and make Vince think, oh, see, yeah, look, they're watching now. Look at this. No, hell no. They need to understand that we need it to be like the way it was before was fine. There was no problems with NXT before, short of them not really promoting it like they are now. And then they do this whole 2.0 thing to make it say this is a better version of the old NXT you used to love. No, it's not. Yeah. All these new faces that they're trying to force feed down our throat, the Braun Breakers, the Von Wagners. Like, no, I'm just not with that. And then you're shoving aside some of those older names. And sure, Tommaso Ciampa being champion, that's cool. I'm happy for Tommaso Ciampa, but it felt empty. When he won it, it felt so empty. Like, it doesn't have that same weight, that same meaning, that same feeling like it would have had he gone against, let's say it would have been him and Adam Cole, and he would have beaten Adam Cole in the old NXT.
I hear you.
Oh, man, that would have been great. Yeah. Or if they would have done this Fatal 4-Way that they did, about a month ago, in that old format, it just would have felt like, okay, this is still a thing. But no, they went and replaced Kyle O'Reilly with Von Wagner, which is kind of telling you which direction they're going. Then his first championship defense is against Braun Breaker. What the hell are we doing? Like,
did you watch the match for Halloween Havoc?
Yeah, I'm telling you the truth.
So
I have not seen, and I refuse to see it at the moment because I'm still pissed off at the idea that everything that was built before, it seems like Vince is just saying, I don't give a shit about any of that. I'm looking at bringing in new faces, all these older guys, whatever, over 30, that don't have the body type that I'm looking for. Scrap them. And let me bring in all these young cats who don't have experience. And it's not about the wrestling. It's about all of these different segments that they're doing. And it's like, I I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, if you would have promoted the way you're promoting now, if you would have promoted that brand, Triple H's brand, if you would have promoted that, you would have had more people knowing who they were to get those ratings up, I should say. But now you're trying to say, oh, this new NXT, got the new, stage and everything.
Yeah,
and
more open.
Music,
you see the crowd.
And then you bring in these new faces. And it's like, I don't feel connected to them. I feel disconnected to those wrestlers. Like, I don't know any of them and I don't care because I feel like all of the ones that I loved were being replaced. Like, Johnny wasn't even on TV for a while. Like,
he is now. He's getting his TV time.
He's getting
him
TV
and Carmelo.
time.
Him and Carmelo Hayes. They about to do something. They're about to have a nice little feud, which is nice. I'm saying you should give it a shot.
All I know,
peek at it.
All I know is it feels disrespectful what Vince did to NXT and what he did to Triple H and what he did to William Regal and that product that they built. Like what they're doing, what they did initially to just kind of wipe away and say it didn't have to be.
Yeah,
like,
but it's not going to work because AEW just took it. They took NXT format and they did it on a bigger level. And basically, Vince McMahon said, we got to do something different. We can't compete with that with what we have right now. They're not in these big stadiums. They have the performance center. So you know what? We're gonna dumb it down,
still
so to
performance
speak.
center.
Yeah. But before with the Black and Gold, before the pandemic, for the takeovers, they'll be in those huge stadiums.
Yeah,
they're gonna
it was great.
They're gonna
They're not even doing
tone it
takeovers
down
anymore.
Well, they might bring it back. There is, rumors about that.
Yeah,
Possibly
well, as far as I know, they're saying, takeover might be over as we know it. Like a pay-per-view was nearly perfect. The things that it kills me. You have takeovers that were amazing pay-per-views, and I hear news of them saying, "Oh, it's probably done." What? Like really? Like it just feels so disrespectful. Like things that we loved as fans of NXT, and they're just basically saying like none of that mattered. Like no, it wasn't good. Like, what do you mean? Like, we fucking loved it, and you wouldn't promote it. And now you're promoting this, which is an inferior product to what you had before. It just is. The wrestlers, look, we used to talk about, the divisions in NXT can compete with Raw and SmackDown. I can't say that with a straight face anymore. I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, the women's division, Raquel, still awesome. Io Shirai, still awesome. But it does not look the way it did before, where it was like you could say this was the best division on the planet. Now, I'm not sure. I'm really not. I mean, Mandy Rose being champion, cool. Like, I'm happy for Mandy Rose.
That.
No shade on Mandy Rose whatsoever. I think Mandy Rose couldn't be awesome as champion. But damn, like to be champion in this version of NXT, it's not about her. It's about the way that they just seem to be casting aside and saying, yeah, the thing like this product that so many people loved, where the wrestling was on point, everybody seemed to be taken seriously. They were at Survivor Series and they killed it.
I know.
The wrestlers showed up at Royal Rumble.
That was the pinnacle of NXT. That was the pinnacle of NXT.
And Vince trying to say, look, Keith Lee at Royal Rumble got a huge pop. At Survivor Series got a huge pop. Now the man is barely. It's just like you don't even care.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And NXT is supposed to be the problem. Really? Come on, man. Like it just doesn't.
That's where they're changing it up, man. So it could be basically a linear transition for when NXT get called up to the main roster. Now we have to see how NXT is going to develop new stars, and maybe they can. I'm just saying, give it a shot. The way Gargano can groom Carmelo Hayes, man. The way, because Carmelo is the current NXT North American champion, by the way. I'm gonna throw that in.
I know that. I know he's the current NXT. I just don't. It's like him. I don't have a problem, I guess, with him like helping Carmelo Hayes because that's what happens in wrestling. Everyone is helping each other, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But the thing is, in this NXT, Johnny Gargano doesn't feel like he has a future. It just feels like I'm counting down the days for his contract to be up to where he can sign with the company, where he's actually going to be like something himself, not helping just there to prop somebody else up or whatever, but that he's literally having 5-star matches and trying to be champion himself. Like it just sucks. Like Tommaso Ciampa, cool, he's champion, but I feel like even though he's champion, I feel like that match with him and Braun Breaker was more about them trying to prep Braun Breaker than for Tommaso Ciampa's star.
You need to watch the Halloween Havoc, bro. That was more like a. I'm not talking about
the match. I'm not talking about the match. Hear what I'm saying? The way that this whole thing, like Braun Breaker, staring at Tommaso Ciampa and being in the ring with Tommaso Ciampa, who is Braun Breaker to even deserve that moment with Tommaso Ciampa in the first place? Like they hadn't even really built this dude up, and all of a sudden he beats LA Knight in his first match, and then he's already trying to get into a feud with Tommaso Ciampa right off jump. Yeah. Like it's clear to me that they're trying to set up this for Braun Breaker to be a next guy that they're putting on the main roster. So it's really about hey, look,
proof is in the pudding. You need to watch it. You ain't watching.
but it's not about, to me, I'm not telling you, look, I am telling you this as a person who, I'm pissed off at Vince and at WWE for this whole NXT situation. And I can tell NXT is all about these younger guys and how they've presented the product to me. Okay, to me. And that's what I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can do whatever they want with the matches, but at this point, they've already lost me.
If that was true, why is Braun Breaker not champion?
It does, look, him being NXT champion, he's not going to be there for long, probably. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter. That championship, NXT, they don't give a shit. The champions don't feel like they matter anymore. It's all about, like, this is developmental for that next level. It's almost better if you're not champion because we know you're going to go on anyway. Like Raquel Gonzalez, losing? Yeah, she's probably going to the main roster.
I probably will agree with that statement if I haven't seen the last match, which was the NXT Championship match between Braun Breaker and Tommaso Ciampa, which basically was, they told the story of Tommaso Ciampa was wrecking Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker was nowhere near on his level, bro. It was more like a squash match. And I'm like, that's interesting that they would go that route, knowing I thought this was like to your point, this is 2.0. This is all about, making stars. And it wasn't even like a close match. It wasn't even like, he was a good challenger. It was just like, bro, he whooped the dog shit out of Braun Breaker, man. It was like old Tommaso, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's not what we're hearing on the dirt sheets. Maybe it's a little mix of both. Maybe they're gonna have some veterans run the game while they bring up some of this new talent too, because they do have Carmelo Hayes as which is who is groomed by Shawn Michaels to be be the top guy, and he's North American champion, and now he's about to get be in a nice feud with Johnny Gargano, man. I'm saying give it a shot.
No,
give it a shot.
I won't because I'm annoyed by just how this whole thing went down, and that this happens. Like the way that you present, you only have so many times, so many chances to be able to gain people's, trust and to gain people's, wanting to see what you got going on. And in the beginning, if the first thing you start doing is replacing a guy like Kyle O'Reilly in the matchup with somebody that's just unknown and putting in all these new faces right off the bat, you're sending me a clear message. And everything that's being talked about with this brand, like, look, if they're trying to do some course correction with it, it's going to take more than that. I'm sorry. Like them booking Tommaso Ciampa to smash Braun Breaker, in this, there's a part of me that feels like, well, then they're just bad booking at that point. Like, what is the point of all this then? Like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just sounds like a mess. Like you're presenting this product in one way to say, you're going to have all these, developmental, build these guys up, and I'm pissed off because you're disrespecting the guys that were there before. But then you flip it around at Halloween Havoc. Now you're trying to have Tommaso Ciampa destroy him. Like, are you trying to win me back by saying, hey, Tommaso Ciampa, look what he did here. Look, see, he won. Like,
he did.
I just don't. That's not enough. That to me, it just feels still like, it's just not until actually I said this already.
Yeah.
When Triple H comes back,
then
maybe I'll take a look and see what's going on. But until I hear something about, Triple H is back, running the show, he's doing the booking, Vince stepping aside a little bit, letting Triple H get his hands back on the product like he used to, then I'll see what we got going on. Because I trust Triple H. I don't trust Vince when it comes to NXT. Vince with Raw, Vince with SmackDown, he does this thing. At this point, it's been enough years, decades of watching wrestling. I just accept what Raw and SmackDown. Yeah, it's just what it is. But with NXT, that was something special that he just did not watch, did not care about, and it shows. And this attempt, whatever, with Tommaso Ciampa, having him beat Braun Breaker, it's like, nah, man, like, I still don't trust you. I do not trust you. That to me, it didn't make me go, no. Really? He beat him? He beat him? So Tommaso Ciampa still No. I've been down this road before.
I didn't expect you to respond like that, nothing like that, man. Get all happy.
I'm just saying. And it's not for you. It's just for in general. I'm not buying that. I don't. The way that they have presented this product, the first couple episodes that they did, I'm just like, what is this? You know, like what is going on? And it's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute. And really, the person that I trust behind the scenes there is Triple H. Triple H gets back in control, and I hear that they don't have to change the people. It's just because I trust his booking. I feel like it'll be a better product, period. And there'll be certain wrestlers that get respected more. You know, like we know Vince doesn't like the smaller guys. You know, we know that there's a certain type of wrestler that he likes.
Guys, beefy.
You're right. Beef. I'll say, you think you can handle all this beef? Like, that's Vince. You know what I'm saying? So for Raw and SmackDown, I've accepted it. It is what it is. But for NXT, I mean, come on, man. Like, it's going to take more than that. It's going to take more than that. So, you know, that's just where I'm at with that.
What would it take?
Congratulations to Triple H. That's what it's going to take.
just Triple H. He just needs to come back.
I need to hear that Triple H is back there. Then maybe I'll tune in, see an episode. You know, well, one thing that I
hear you.
I wish I was watching to see Mandy Rose become champion because I am genuinely happy for her.
Dude, she had a nice match.
I'm happy for Mandy
Raquel
Rose.
Gonzalez, man. It
just sucks that it's in a shit product. That's what I'll say. It's in a shit product that it happens.
There was shaky ground with me at first, like the first couple of weeks, like you said. I don't know. But a couple of times, you know, I'll have, you know, as I'm editing our show, I'll have NXT in the background. You know, I'm not watching it like I used to, but then it will be certain segments that catch my attention. You know, the whole, like I said, with the Johnny Gargano, Carmelo Hayes, what they're building, I think that's nice. Or you know, when Carmelo Hayes called out Tommaso Ciampa, I thought that was cool. And then Tommaso said, "You ain't ready. I look in your eyes." I say, "Oh, he don't believe a lick what he's saying." So he leaves the ring. And what was a nice touch? Johnny Gargano music hits. He comes out. And then you already know, you know, Tommaso already has Goldie. Yeah, and he clenches a little bit tighter as Johnny's walking by.
Like I said, I saw that moment. I talked about it in the pre-show. That moment I saw.
That was like a nice.
You sent me the the picture, so I'm like, let me see this moment and see what's going on.
Yeah.
And you know, it was cool. Like it kind of just made me more upset because I then go back to my whole history with NXT.
Yeah.
Like, damn, this is something that like we'll never in my head. My fears will never see that again. Like we'll never see that the great feuds, the great stories on that level. It's just gonna be this like a couple of one and dones. Like let's just get them in, get them prepped for Raw, move them out. Get them in, get them prepped for SmackDown, move them out, and then get the next batch in. And then you have a couple of mainstays like a Johnny Gargano and a Tommaso Ciampa who are in a sense, I guess, instructors of this developmental group that they're calling NXT right now.
I'm sorry, it doesn't feel like that past those 2 weeks. They feel like they're developing characters like this guy named Chase. Is it Chase Owens or something like that? The Chase University. You got Diamond Mine. I like how they're telling the story.
But do you think the guys that they like this guy Chase, for instance?
Yeah.
Do you see him staying in NXT past 2 years?
No.
Do you see him staying past in NXT past a year?
Maybe
like it's close, right? Like
right. It's a good question. It's a good question because I'm still trying to figure out how NXT will develop a star, and because I'm what I'm interested in to see that transition from this new 2.0 and how would that fit into the main roster. You know, once I see what their vision is with that, you know, then I can have a clear cut answer with what you just asked me about that.
Yeah, it's just to me it feels like we are truly in a situation where we're using this platform to develop people that don't have much experience in wrestling and trying to turn them into sports entertainers and have them shipped off to Raw and SmackDown as soon as they're ready. Like NXT is not, I mean, I think what we both can agree on is NXT is not in any way, shape, or form competition for Raw and SmackDown. They're not treating it like a third brand at all. Exactly.
Not anymore.
And that's what sucks is because before the NXT that I loved, you could argue it was better than both of them.
Oh, hell
now
yeah.
they've downgraded it to this thing where it's clear it is not a brand, it is developmental, period. And for me to love wrestlers like a Tommaso, like a Johnny, Pete Dunne, and to say they're stuck in developmental, it was cool when they were on what I could consider a third brand, but now they're just stuck in developmental. Like, what's the point then? So that's why I say they're like glorified instructors. Like, they're just hanging out. It's like the old guys hanging out at college, coach. And like they just won't leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these young kids keep coming in, and then you've got the older guys here hanging out, and it's just like at a certain point, it's just not cool anymore. But when it was like actually like the big leagues, when it's like the pros, it's cool for Johnny. It's cool for Tommaso to say this is the A show when it's actually competition. But when it's developmental, it's like, nah, bro. This is not the A show.
Those days
are
over. Yeah, when he says that, I don't believe it because I know what it is. I look at it as developmental. I think that's why I'm able to digest it a little bit.
You've accepted that it's developmental.
Yeah. I think that's where
we're at.
Yeah, like, that's where our perceptions
I'm
split right there.
They changed it to developmental, and you've accepted that it is developmental.
I have.
Yeah, which
there was some murky waters, but I came through. I was on the other side, like, hey, Hafeez, it's not bad as you think.
Now I just want them to move people out of there that I'm really invested in, because now it just feels like there's no point anymore. Like, for Johnny to be there, to me, there's just no point. Either he, once his contract is done, he goes off to AEW or Impact or somewhere else so that he can go somewhere so it feels like his career is progressing. Or he goes, I don't like his chances on Raw or SmackDown, but at this point, I feel like it's better than being stuck in developmental for the rest of your career. Like, that's just where I'm at right now. And
so you saying even if he gets promoted to the main roster, you're fine with him being on the main roster as opposed to 2.0?
If I had to rank what I would want to see happen with Johnny Gargano, the top thing I would say is that he leaves and goes to a company like AEW. That would be the number one thing I would say.
Yeah.
After that, I would say I'd rather see him take a shot. Let's just see what happens on a Raw or a SmackDown versus stay in NXT. That's kind of where I'm at right now. The way that NXT is right now, he's to me, he's beyond developmental. He's just beyond it.
Johnny's wrestling, man.
It's just to me, it's disrespectful now for him to be there because of how good that man is. And that's how I feel about a lot of those guys. And okay, maybe I would accept it more if they just went ahead and did that, right? If the people that I feel like are really good then just move out from there, and the NXT is just all new guys, brand spanking new, and they're not holding on to the Garganos and the Tommaso Ciampas. If they just get all these new faces, and it's just all right, everybody's on the same playing field, they're all developmental, maybe I would accept it more. But the fact that I know that NXT used to be this thing that was competing with Raw and SmackDown, and their whole and Johnny and Tommaso and Pete Dunne, we're all like these just great talents telling great stories in there. And now that's done, it just pisses me off. And I'm just like, okay, then what's the point for them? They're not developing anymore. They're not developing them into anything. They're just there, so just move them out. Move them on to Raw. Move them on to SmackDown. Let's see what happens. And if it fails, cut them. And if you cut them, you let them go. And they can do something else somewhere else that will appreciate them. Let them go where they'll be appreciated. They can tell great stories and become household names somewhere else. That's just it. If you don't think they could be stars on Raw and SmackDown, then why are you hanging on to them? At this point.
You think Tommaso could be a star on Raw?
I think if it wasn't Vince doing the booking, sure. Yeah, I do. Because I feel like there are a lot of fans out there that do see him as a star. I see him as a star. Like Triple H obviously saw him as a star.
He looks super jacked.
He does. Well, just even like, he looks the part. He's great on the mic. Just overall, I could see him being a locker room leader. You know, like given the chance, like he could be anything. Imagine him in AEW with all those dudes, man. Like he would be there. Look, Bobby Fish on AEW is having great matches with Bryan Danielson and CM Punk. You know, Bobby Fish.
Yeah.
What do you think's gonna happen if that was Tommaso Ciampa? You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, I remember you saying, man, I don't know, CM Punk versus Bobby Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But if that was Tommaso Ciampa, you'd be like, okay, yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know like, there's just great things that these guys can do that I feel like bringing up a bunch of young guys to help show them the way. There's something that is I guess for them, let me just look at it this way for a second. If Tommaso Ciampa takes pride in the idea that he's going to help develop someone into becoming a big star on Raw or on SmackDown, he takes pride in that, then more power to him. Absolutely. Okay. If Johnny Gargano, same thing, more power to him. If that's what they want, more power to them. For me, I see them as being capable of more than that. I see them as the stars. I don't see them as like, that's all they're good for. That's all they're useful for. I see them as being able to main event pay-per-views and kill it. You know, that's just what I see for those guys. And hopefully they get the opportunity down the road. But I just, with this, man, I don't know.
Let's see what they do with 2.0. There is, you know, like I said on the dirt sheets that, you know, they're looking to bring one of the takeovers back for December. We shall see. Would it be Takeover 2.0? Would it be rebranded? Would it be back and in a stadium or arena? Or we be at the Performance Center?
That would be very interesting. I don't know. Do they have the balls to put 2.0 in an arena?
Shit.
Do they have the balls to do that? Because, man, like, first of all, will it sell out? You think they could sell out an arena with 2.0?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Real.
Like,
I'm gonna be real, bro. I'm gonna be real because they already kind of turn off their core audience.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, you're already turned off. If you find out 2.0 coming to Chicago, you be like,
oh shit, yeah, nah.
Even if I said like, bro, I got a free ticket, man.
Free,
come on. Like, nah, bro. I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna be at the crib, watch some Marvel or something.
I think I'm gonna watch the replay.
I'm gonna see what this Extreme Rules is talking about, right?
I'm gonna watch Full Gear again. You know,
just
gonna check that out. You know, watch something I've seen before. Yeah, but I could just watch it one more time instead of watching this takeover. Yeah, man. If they do it in front of arena, that will be interesting to see what that reception is like, man.
I don't think they will.
Like I said, I don't think they got the balls. I don't think they got the balls to do that. They don't want that smoke. They don't. They don't want that smoke.
They're gonna be comping some of those tickets, man.
Yep, bro. Yep. They be trying to give away people like
right.
2.0.
They might holler at us like, "Hey, we got a sponsorship for you guys. 6 tickets.
Pay you,
right.
Pay you to come see the show." Like,
right. And you can do a giveaway for these tickets. So you got 6 free tickets for NXT TakeOver 2.0.
Oh man, dude, how crazy is that? Just thinking about it. If you would have told me, like, you know, a year ago, that I'd be like, oh, WWE contacting us about, you know, sponsorship through NXT and giving us free tickets, and I'd be like, nah. If you'd have told me that a year ago, I'd be like, you crazy. You crazy. I've been jumping. I'd be like, NXT wants to sponsor us? Holy shit. Yes. Right. Yes, I'd be so excited. But then looking at it now, you ask me that, I'm like, nah, man, get that shit out of here. What's that ticket say? 2.0? 2.0. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thanks.
It's going to be a hard pass for me.
Holy shit. All right. Let's move on. So we opened up right with that hot topic. But
2.0 debate.
Let's have some fun with the champions right now in WWE, and we'll talk about AEW as well. Yeah. But one of the things that sparked this idea for a topic here for the show was we were talking about Big E, and I kind of wanted to gauge how you feel about Big E as champion so far. Big E, I guess as of today, they got the days on here. Interesting. 52 days it's been, him as champion since he beat Bobby Lashley and Money in the Bank.
Close to 2 months now.
Close to 2 months. Close to 2 months. We're getting there. So, how are we feeling about Big E as champion? He's getting ready to go against Seth Rollins. It looks like to defend his championship. Had the matchup against Kevin Owens on Raw. Which solid matchup overall. It was a fun match. But just Big E as champion. You talked about he was on the Breakfast Club, and had an interview there, which is cool. What do you think though of him? Like, do you think it's how about this? Let's have a name for this: boom or bust for Big E's championship reign. Where do you think we're going? You think it's right now? It's looking like a boom. Do you fear there's a chance for a bust as far as his championship reign?
I'm not gonna lie. There is a shadow, a glooming dark cloud of a bust. But I'm gonna go with boom. His title reign so far, almost close to 2 months, booming. What I just talked about it last week on the show, man. When we had that panel, shout out, to JD, Kiki, Jove, all of them that came through, by the way. And I said, when I look at the wrestling business on that side, and I see Big E outside of wrestling, I think that's a good sign. Just when you see like ESPN or the Breakfast Club, he's doing wrestling promotions, talking about his title reign, how it's important to see representation too for the culture. So he's doing it all, and I think this is a great sign. And I don't think WWE is ready to stop his run, but I think they're using Seth Rollins to elevate Big E, to bring him to that level where Seth Rollins at, because Big E is not there yet, because there's levels to this shit.
Seth told him to his face, "You are not on my level."
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think he's going to prove it that he is. And I think this is going to be a great story because I think you said it and you hit home with me when you made that point. Seth Rollins can take L's and keep going. He can. He can take L's to the chest and still keep going on his end. And I think he could take an L from Big E because it will elevate them both, because Seth is gonna sell to the moon for Big E. And he's gonna bring him up with him too, man. And it's gonna be a great story to tell, bro. So it's boom. I'm gonna go with boom.
All right. So far, I would say it's a boom for Big E. If Seth Rollins beats Big E for the championship, it's a bust. Because that would be, to me, a shocker for Big E. This is a historic championship reign. He's the fourth black man to hold the WWE championship. Something like that. I feel like, because people are still talking about it, because we're still counting how many black people will be our champion. I don't think you can have a title reign where you just snuff that shit out. So if you do that, I think it's a bust. Clearly, Big E, as far as a personality, I feel like he's got what it takes to be a fan favorite. I still feel like Big E is still trying to find his groove a little bit.
I sense that too. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he seems like he's caught in between New Day Big E and this new version of Big E that's like more serious. There are times where when he's having a promo with somebody that he still wants to be really goofy. And I feel like he should be able to do that because the man's human. Like, he should be able to show levels and layers to himself. But I think maybe it'll come with time. That'll
find that balance.
He'll find that balance to where it feels more, just more natural. Like, we just accept this is who Big E is, and he's a dominant champion who can be goofy and silly at times when he wants to be. So, that part, but I still, it'll take a little bit of time. The wrestling, the matches are on point. Like, there's no problem with his wrestling at all. It's amazing. Like, I just love watching Big E in the ring. So I think he's awesome. And just, so the one thing is the connection with the New Day. Like, I feel like Big E on Raw needs to maybe not be still so affiliated with the New Day.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm saying that is because, like, okay, they mentioned King Woods, and I was like, it kind of brought me back to him being in the New Day, and I love that they love each other so much and they're brothers, and you can still have that. They got the podcast together. You got up, down, down. You can always show up there. But when it comes to the show, when it comes to you are a champion now, and they separated you guys. What's the point of separating you guys if you're going to keep mentioning each other all the time? So,
well, I can understand that, but come on, man. Seth was disrespecting, and that's Big E, just backing up his brothers. Like, first of all,
he is, and I don't want to get on Big E too much for that.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's part of what maybe is holding him a little bit from taking that next step to just creating this complete character for himself, separate of the New Day.
Should he change his gear? Because it's similar to...
right now it still features their faces on it. It's got the Fugees inspired cover, which
it's
I do love.
New Day on the back.
It does say it, and I love it. I love the gear. I love it. I think it's amazing. And when they were all on the same show, it made sense. You know what I'm saying? But since they separated them again, I think maybe he should. Maybe he should just have something that's just him. And just, focus more on himself. And then when they do pay-per-views, you can still have them cross paths and, do the New Day or sometimes do 6-man tags for pay-per-views. But use that time that you're not with them to just focus on developing yourself in terms of Big E. Like, since you're not with them, just be selfish and just build you, period. And then it'll be special when you guys are together, but you'll feel a little bit different because you've grown so much and we see just you. Like because when I look at him, I still see the New Day, but I want to just see WWE champion Big E. Like, I want to just be able to...
Honestly, I don't think Big E even wants that. I don't think he wants to be viewed as just to be singled out. He wants all the spotlight on him.
Part of the...
Yeah, he wants to be part of the New Day. He still wants to be recognized. Those as his brothers. Anytime he gets a chance to mention it, he's gonna mention the New Day. I don't think there's gonna be a point. And honestly, if he did try to change it up, I don't know if that would feel natural to me.
Well, it's not even. I'm just saying, like, not even talk. Not to. I feel like it just every time he has something going on, and maybe not every episode, but every other episode, there's some kind of connection with the New Day, and so I think it would help him in terms of developing this character and finding himself and getting his footing completely to just have less affiliation with the New Day when he's on Raw. Mm-hmm. When you're at pay-per-views, look, y'all can have the backstage segments. They can congratulate you on still being champion.
Right.
You can congratulate, Xavier on being King of the Ring and Kofi for being a knight. Like, you could do that. You could have that fun when you're on pay-per-views. But when you're on Raw, that's your show. Be, Raw. Be Mr. Raw. Be, just the WWE champion. Like, be just you, and focus on you. Be greedy. Be selfish when you're on Raw. But, and then on the up, down, down show, on the podcast, it's all like it was before. That's, you guys are friends and brothers off screen, and we know it. And we get to see it. We get to be a part of it on your different channels. But here on Raw, use that as an opportunity to just separate yourself a little bit. I mean, if they would have all been on the same show, I wouldn't be saying this because it's like they can't.
Right, because they're all on the same show.
That's going to be weird, right? If you're on the same show, how are you ignoring them? Are you turning? Is there a problem? What's going on?
Yeah.
But they're on different shows. Okay, then this is an opportunity. Brands. Let's use it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I hear you, so Big E can find his balance. But I think, honestly, they should just lean heavy on Seth to help Big E with that. Just to pull that balance. Because if you look at Seth, he's somewhat what Big E does. Mix that comedy with the seriousness, because he can be funny. Seth could be funny at times. And then, Seth could be fucking sadistic. He could be that evil son of a bitch. Flip of a light switch. So maybe some of that could rub on to Big E, man, so Seth can teach Big E to find that balance, like how Seth is, because he's coasting, bro.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I feel like you're. I agree with you when it comes to Seth being able to help him. I'm really excited about this feud.
Yeah.
That a heel like Seth, I feel, can bring out the best of Big E, just because a great heel can generate that heat on themselves and make people want that face to win and overcome and just like you see with MJF. Like, he's so hated that people have no choice. Like, they're going to cheer Darby and they're going to want to see Darby whoop his ass. Yes. It's just easy. It's not like, okay, Cody's supposed to be the face and everyone's booing him no matter who he's going against. like some people just like that, right? But if it's MJF going against Cody right now,
we booing this man. Yeah, that's universal.
That's
universal law.
Right. So with Seth, I feel like he could have that effect with Big E just by, him getting under people's skin with some of the stuff that he could do. Now, the one problem, though, with Seth a little bit is, even though I'm saying this, right now, Seth is very entertaining, very charismatic, and I don't want it to have the opposite effect where people start cheering Seth because he's so fun to watch. And then Big E's there, and it's like, yeah, Big E, you're cool, but damn, man, like that dude Seth's got me rolling over here. Like, I don't want that. Like, Seth, you can still be funny and charismatic, but at the same time, you got to dig in and talk about each city you're in and how they're all pieces of shit and their sports teams suck. Like, do whatever it takes.
Right. I think he'll find a way to get booed.
Yeah,
and Big E to get cheered. I think they will. Yes.
Yeah. All right, so that's Big E. So we're both saying boom on Big E, so that's good.
Yeah, boom.
So Becky Lynch, this second go round as Raw Women's Champion. She just successfully defended her title against Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
Yes, there were shenanigans a little bit, but I mean, for the most part, she's a heel, and she did a basic heel tactic and won. So as far as I'm concerned, that was
basic one-on-one for heels.
Clean. It was right. It was pretty clean for a heel. That's to be expected. Cunning. They're gonna pull the turnbuckle pad.
Very cunning.
The turnbuckle. It's just tactics.
Yeah.
So with Becky, when she had that first reign, at the end of it, it felt like, oh man, like this is, fatigue started to set in. A lot of fans were just like, at least I'll say it speak for myself. I was like, you know what? There were a couple times where I thought she should have lost, so that
I was co-signing with you with that. Man.
we can freshen her up a little bit, but here we are now, removed from, having a child and taking some time away, comes back, she turns heel, she, steals the belt from Bianca, then has a series of matches with her, great matches, and now still champion by hook or crook. So with Becky, is it boom for this current reign, or is it bust? You first, man. Actually, just to finish off what I'm saying, because I've kind of already broken it down on my side, I'm going to say boom, because I feel like this version of Becky Lynch, it makes so much sense, for her to, be this heel and win the way she is, and she's still fun, and sometimes she's still getting cheered too. Like during that, in her entrance, she was
still getting cheered.
Yeah, like it's working exactly how I think we were saying that it would work if she would have turned heel earlier on before she took that leave. You can freshen her up by turning her heel, and it just made sense. And now, what happens to a lot of these heels is they're so damn charismatic and entertaining, like what I'm afraid might happen with Seth, that they start getting cheered.
Yeah.
So, I'd say for this one, for Becky, it's a boom. I think she's doing a hell of a job. What say you, sir?
I'm gonna go with the same. I'm gonna say boom as well. I think what they need to keep on doing is to keep establishing, Becky as a heel. Because to your point, you just said the fans are cheering her. You see them as soon as her music hits, like, oh, that's still face music. They need to actually change that up.
You think so?
Dude,
change it.
it's such a feel good song. It gets
Yeah.
the crowd wanting to sing along too. Like I understand why some people still cheer. Like they still see Becky as a face somewhat. You know, she's just being smart. Like, is she really being heel, or is she just, just taking her opportunities? Like,
Right.
it's not looking. Let me get rid of this pad, right? Expose the turnbuckle.
Right.
Ref didn't see it. Hey, or that's what I think they need to do, man. I think they need to establish her heel character more, so it won't be a detriment to Bianca's face run, because she has one of the best title runs, first title reign ever. Being in the women's division, and then when how Becky came in and just snipped that in the bud in a flash, 26 seconds, and instantly got heat. They kind of use that momentum, but they need to keep establishing that heel character work. Like, I understand she wants to win by all means necessary, but I need to see more of this character development of being a heel. Because right now I'm getting tweener vibes. I'm not getting heel.
Okay.
Honestly,
okay.
I'm getting tweener vibes.
And I mean, knowing you, I know you love your heels, and so
I do.
For her to be in between like this, I could see how you would want her to just kind of even more so establish like you are evil, like just be evil, like don't still appeal to some of these fans who think, no, you're still nice. Like, no, like cut that shit off.
Swimming in the gray area right now. That's what you're doing. Just
go to the dark side.
Right.
I get it. I enjoy a good there's some people that when they're heels, they're just it's just like with Stone Cold, for instance. When Stone Cold turned heel, no one bought it, and most people were still cheering him. Some booed, but most people cheered. I loved it. I loved that whole thing where he still did shitty things, but it was so damn entertaining the way he did it. And they tried. They changed his music a little bit. Still, it was like, this song's still cool. Like, I still like it. Like, it's not a bad version of Stone Cold's song, in my opinion. Like, I just enjoyed it. So, I just have fun with those characters. If you're a heel and you're having a good time, like it's funny to me. So I'm like, all right, cool. So with Becky, I love this. I love that she's just not like like trying to be like just angry or mean or whatever and just talking shit. Like, no, she's just saying, hey, like even in her promo, she said something about she hears the boos and it actually kind of upsets her. Like she's talking about how it's upsetting to her, and she kind of wants. She didn't say she wants the cheers, but I kind of read into it that she feels she should be the hero of the story. Like, what has she done since she came back? She saved the day at SummerSlam. Like, Sasha couldn't go to work. She couldn't make it. She stepped in and saved the day. And all she's doing is winning. What is the problem? What did she do that's wrong? And I'm like, it's just hilarious to me to hear someone who, sucker punch someone, and is using these underhanded tactics. You didn't want to fight Bianca when she was calling you out, when clearly it made sense for her to get a rematch. And yet, here you are. But it's entertaining to me. So I don't know. I just have fun with heels like this. But
are you getting like Hollywood Rock vibes from her?
The only reason why it feels like The Rock at all is because she keeps using the rock bottom.
Yes.
Like that's really it. Now, I compare her
25% power.
25%. I'll up it to that last one that she did to Bianca seemed to have a little bit more power. So I'm gonna say 26%. No.
I thought maybe 30 or 35 top. I thought he was gonna go that route. Not 26.
That was a joke. I mean, yeah, it was good. It was a good rock bottom. But I'm still, it's always funny when you see someone else do like a move that was made famous by someone else. Like even Kevin Owens doing the stunner, that's probably at like 50% power. Like that's not really,
it's not the same
stunner.
swag as Stone Cold.
No,
it's not. No. At first,
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, okay, he's taking it." But I was like, now I was like, I ain't feeling that, Kevin.
Right.
Going back to the pop-up power bomb, bro. That's you. That's you. Not that Stone Cold. Knock it off.
I'm gonna give Becky that she did 50% power to Bianca. The reason why I say it is because the way she drove Bianca into the mat, she got her up real high, And then the way her shoulders hit the mat, it was like, I don't know, the angle that Bianca hit, it seemed a little bit more devastating this time. So I'm going to double it. I'm going to say that this one was double the power
50.
of the one she hit her with SummerSlam. So I'm going to say 50%.
50%.
We're at 50% power.
All right. It is decided then.
50%. And right now you're at 50%. And counting. She got to level up a little bit more.
Oh.
Damien Priest, the United States champion.
Ooh.
Boom or bust?
Oh, they're all in on Damien Priest, man. They're all in. I'm gonna say boom, bro. He got new music. It's like the angelic side and the hell side. When he come out his all there on the graphic, he comes out doing the pose, the devil pose, and
man,
and this open face palm. Like, oh, that's what we're doing. Like, oh, like, oh.
Vince
we got a little eyeshadow now.
Vince is all over it, man.
And then we get super pissed. The devil breaks out. He got an ugly face.
Dude.
He do that ugly face. I'm like, oh, it's about to go there.
You know, honestly, man, I was ready to say boom, and then you bringing all this up, and I don't know. You about to take me out of this. I don't know.
The arrow got gone, bro. It's ugly face now. He put on that ugly ass face.
Wow. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it's boom because I feel like they've built Damien Priest to a point where if Damien Priest challenged for a WWE championship in the future, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be mad at it. And I could see him as a future champion. Like, I could see it happening.
I think that would be within our timeline that we predicted. We said within 18 months we could see Damien Priest go for like the one of the belts.
Well, I would say this, that if they do an elimination chamber matchup for the WWE championship, the next one they do, if Damien Priest, knock on wood, he's healthy, he's available, ready to go. I see Damien Priest being in a match like that, in like a Hell in a Cell for the championship. I'll just book that right now. So Damien Priest, I would say, is a boom with the, ugly face notwithstanding and all the other stuff going on. Damien Priest, the career trajectory,
bro.
You're right.
On, man.
Going through a transformation. Holy shit. I don't know, man. Be careful, Damien.
Oh, man. That match he had with T-Bar slapped, though.
It did. You know what? I was actually, I have a hard time calling him T-Bar. Dominic Dijakovic.
There you go.
I was happy for him to have, a match on television against Damien Priest and to have a strong match.
Yeah.
Seeing him there, I was like, man, see, this is your moment. Like, Dominic, show him why, when you were in NXT, everyone was saying like, hey man, this dude and Keith Lee, we could watch their matches over and over and over again. You want to do a best of 7 with those two? Do it,
Give it to me.
Seriously. So, him and Damien, it's right up there with that. Now Bearcat, hopefully they say, let's give that a shot, man. Let's let these two go out there and do what they do. So I hope so. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, Bearcat, though, it seems like they might be going the heel route with him.
You think?
Well, just the way that his the last
should have brought
promo,
back the chin strap back for that, man. Everyone,
I know. But the last promo
you got
that
the
I
baby
remember,
face now.
Because they were asking, like, someone interviewed him and just the mannerisms he had, I was just like, oh, they're turning him heel. Like, it just felt like they were turning him heel, but I don't know.
Bearcat, huh?
Wow. Moving on. The Raw Tag Team Champions. RK Bro. Boom or bust.
Oh my God!
Now with this, I was gonna say, because with this, we got to take it as like right now, today. Because at one point, I almost wanted to say rated RK Bro. I was putting together rated RKO and RK Bro together, but RK Bro, they were the hottest thing on Raw for a while.
Yeah, for a while.
For a while, like But today, as we sit here today, boom or bust, you
Bust.
say bust. Okay, say
Bust.
why.
So instantly I heard the theme music with the Randy Orton and what's his name?
Matt Riddle?
I can't even, Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so discombobulated by it. They gelled the two themes together. I hate when they do that shit.
Yeah.
So fucking lazy, man. Just make it come up with a new beat, but they want to change it up. They slowed down like Randy's Orton beat so it can go like go with the same tempo of Matt Riddle. I'm like, no. And they come out and Matt Riddle's like, yeah, you're listening. And Randy Orton's like, oh, okay, yeah, I hear, yeah. I'm like, man, motherfucker, RKO his ass right now, bro.
I'm ready for it.
Right, man. Just end it, bro. End this. This is a bust. Bust.
Oh man. Yeah. So, damn, it's tough, man, because I like RK Bro. I really like RK Bro, and I feel like as far as helping to establish Riddle as a more of a household name, pairing him and Randy Orton is genius, and I feel like it's still working. I feel like the crowd, is still into it. I do feel like I'm ready for it to be like they could just end it right now, and I wouldn't be mad at it. Like if Randy did RKO Riddle and then they had their feud, I'm fine. So I won't go as far to say it's a bust. I'm gonna actually say that it did its job, and so it's a boom. It's not like it makes they're on this downward spiral where I'm just like, fuck this team. Like I'm over it, Like
I'm not over it. It just feels stagnant. Like the character development on both sides. Like where are we going with this? I'm like, only thing I saw was the the gelling of the two interests. That's all I've seen so far.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I want to see more character growth, maybe from Matt Riddle. I want to see more of a meaner side. Like, where are we going with this, man? That's why I'm just saying it's a bust, because it's just been seen very stagnant, man, just flatline.
So let's say they split up without there being a turn. Like, let's say Randy never turns on Riddle and they just split up. Let's say Randy gets mysteriously moved to SmackDown randomly and Riddle's on his own on Raw. It's a bust to me, because this whole story needs to culminate with those two going against each other. Period. Yeah. Like, and they might let this last until WrestleMania. Like, that could be their WrestleMania matchup. Is the two of them one-on-one against each other. So I feel like if we get that, then Riddle, I see Riddle, potentially going over, and them establishing Riddle, continuing to establish Riddle as being this guy who could be a main event player.
Top babyface.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to still say boom. I don't think this is a bust for me, not yet. But I feel you, though. I feel you on it feeling stagnant. But I think since it feels like they're still building to, that eventual matchup that I'm seeing down the road. I'm cool with it. If it doesn't happen, if they don't do a matchup against each other, it's a bust. It's a bust. Like, why did we do all this? This is over. It'll be a year of them, telling the story, and they didn't do anything with it. Like, nah, man, that's a bust. That's a bust. So as far as champions on Raw, for the most part, you had them all as a boom, except for the Raw tag team champions. I had them all as a boom, including them. So, overall, I would say the champions right now, they're doing a good job on Raw, booking those champions and doing their thing. But let's move over to SmackDown, which, I mean, let's get this out the way.
We be clubbing.
Roman Reigns. Oh my God. Dated yourself for sure there.
Hell yeah, man. I'm showing my age.
Like, what is that? What is that? It's Ice Cube.
Yay.
Right. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the table, championship reign, standing at 431 days and counting.
He's coming close to another man's record on the other brand.
He is coming to another man's record. He is. He's getting there. He's getting there. This title reign has been so long that the people that he beat to get the championship are not even in the company anymore. That's how long this reign has been. Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, not even employed by WWE anymore. That's how long this reign has lasted.
I no longer need your services. Dismiss.
We hopefully will see these guys pretty soon. I think Bray's been, or not. What's Rotunda? Is the name?
Rotunda.
Rotunda.
Yeah.
He has been teasing, showing up, telling his side of the story. I cannot wait to hear him speak on. Yes, Jericho needs to get that interview. Day one.
Yes.
Like that's the person I want to hear him talk to.
Yes. He probably don't even need a pride, man. He just gonna just tell your story. You just gonna let it all out.
Just
man.
let it all out, man.
Yeah.
So definitely look forward to that. But for Roman Reigns,
yes,
Devin, look, I'm in pins and needles. I'm not sure which way you're gonna go here. Boom or bust? Chance, 50% chance you go bust.
Oh, you already. Come on, man. Boom. 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 Motherfucking boom. Come on. The top story, the face of the company. Tribal Chief. We are the ones. Yes. Yes. His title reign has been superb. Almost perfect.
I was going to say.
Almost perfect.
I was going to ask you, is there anything.
We had that snafu when God decided to intervene for Extreme Rules.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's why I was like, it was almost perfect. It was almost 100% perfect. But just 99.8. I give it that 99.8. All right.
Wow. Okay.
Now I've learned to, I learned to embrace if God decided to intervene in future matches. Now I know what to expect. Now that's on the table for the Tribal Chief.
You would accept it if they did it again?
If they did it again, if I see a snap, see the top ring snap, anything, man, just
oh my
the ring starts to collapse for some reason.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? God intervene, sir.
Wow.
God.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what else do we expect? Of course, Devin is going to say boom. Absolutely.
Come on.
I'm going to say boom as well because it is the number one story. He is the number one story to me, not just on SmackDown, not just in WWE, but in wrestling. I feel like the transformation of Roman Reigns from being this babyface that people at points were sick of seeing to becoming a heel character that is great on the microphone, great. Superb. Just like, even during matches, the things he'll say to people, the way he is, his mannerisms are just so just must-see TV that, it has to be a boom as far as, where we were before, during this transformation, all the matches he's had, and now with this Brock Lesnar feud and with Paul Heyman doing his part, telling a masterful story as well. This whole thing with Roman Reigns and his title reign is a boom. It's a definite boom. Now, I'm going to ask you this. And this isn't really for Roman Reigns if it's a boom or bust. It's more about the recent thing that happened with Paul Heyman in an interview where Paul Heyman was asked by Kayla what Brock Lesnar must be thinking about this $1 million fine. So Kayla's like, hey, so Brock Lesnar just got fined.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think Brock Lesnar is thinking? And Paul Heyman's like, what do you mean? What do you think? I don't know what he's thinking. Like whatever. Like he tried to push it off. And then Kayla's like, come on, you know what I'm asking. You were his advocate. All right. No one would know him better than you as far as what he's thinking right now. And then he's like, well, if I were Brock, I'd be a little pissed off. I mean, who the hell does he think he is? To fine him $1 million, the audacity, the gall,
Lesnar.
So do that to Brock Lesnar, I would be pissed. I would be angry, and he's getting angry and pissed, like legit. And then he kind of catches himself, and he's like, "That's what I would say if I were Brock Lesnar. That's That's what I would say.
Yes.
And the way he's saying
Check
it,
yourself,
I'm like,
sir. Check
that
yourself.
seemed too like specific, too
For the
spot on.
streets.
Right. Like he was like legit became the advocate for like 2 seconds. He became the advocate again.
Even the cadence he was using when he was saying Brock Lesnar. That same cadence when he's getting ready to announce as the advocate for Brock Lesnar.
I'm like, okay. Because there's so many ways you could read that. You could read that as like, yes, him just kind of snapping into that character because it's still there. There's still a part of him that will forever be Brock Lesnar's advocate. There will always be a part of him that does that. But one could say that it's more than a part of him, that behind the scenes, he is in fact still Brock Lesnar's advocate in secret. And that's his true feelings coming out about what just happened to his client. Like he's pissed that Brock got fined $1 million and he couldn't hide it because he's that irate about it.
That's
like
side
one
client.
could, right?
Side client.
Right, you know?
$1 million.
$1 million. He's like, damn, you know, that comes out of my pocket too. Son of a bitch. What the fuck? Adam Pierce. He would go find him and rip his heart out where he's at right now. He would fly over to Connecticut and rip that man's heart out. That's what Brock would do. So, yeah, man. I mean,
I think it's a great way to write off Brock until Royal Rumble, though.
Yeah. Now, that's what they're doing. That's absolutely what they're doing.
Comes in for a quick, little small build it up for the second chapter. Here we go, Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Against the tribal chief, head of the table. We are the ones. Yes, sir. We are the ones. Just want to say I enjoyed your match with Brock Lesnar. The way you was holding on to the rope so you won't get suplexed within the first 5 minutes, I thought was superb. You was showing your smarts out there, sir. Good job.
Oh, man. Just unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, Devin, if you didn't know before, if you're first time listener, this man is a Roman Reigns truther, Roman Reigns believer through and through. I'd say 99.8%.
There you go.
Because of the one moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it is what it is. So Roman Reigns, though, boom. Definitely boom. Charlotte Flair, 6 days into being SmackDown Women's Champion. This kind of got off to a rocky start a little bit with her and Becky Lynch, the exchange of championships. Where it was interesting when we had the discussion, with Kiki and JD and Jove about this. I wasn't sure which way people would side. We just kind of had the discussion. And it was interesting to hear. For the most part, everybody was on Charlotte's side to say like, yeah, of course. Like, what do you want her to? First of all, it's out of character for her to just hand over a championship. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Also, what I find interesting about this whole situation is that this is a new reign. This is another title reign. Like, it's not just.
So they count that as a new title reign. They count that
as like a new title reign because I'm looking even here. This title reign is 6 days long. So it's a brand new title.
Yeah.
Yep. And they've taken away. So like, I think the NXT title reign.
They did.
I don't think that counts anymore because right now she's at 12. So I got to look at it.
It should be like 14, though, honestly.
It should be more. It should be more. The way that they were talking about it before, I feel like that number was higher. Because when they said 12, it felt odd, like 12. But again, too, I'm looking at it, I'm like, wait a minute.
They took a few away.
They took a few away, and they're treating this as like she became, like she's the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Yeah. Becky is the new Raw Women's Champion. So, and it's that exchange was a loss for both of them and a win for both of them. It's so weird how that works. So, and it kind of continues. Charlotte still really doesn't have any long title reigns. Like that one was looking like it was going to be a long title reign, and now that switch cut that title reign short. So that could be another reason why Charlotte's upset. Like, wait a minute. Like, I'm known for I have all these title reigns, but there's no substance. There's quality, but not there's quantity, but not quality.
Quality, right.
To these title reigns. So that maybe is why she's pissed off. Like she wants a good, long, quality title reign. damn the 16-time, 17-time, champion. If they're all bullshit, I want one of those. I want what Roman Reigns has.
Let me get a solid 30 days and we go from there.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's enough for her. I think she wants 431 days where Roman Reigns is
She
at.
ain't getting that, bro.
She wants that love.
She ain't getting that, bro.
She
That's not her thing. That's not what you do, Charlotte. Long title reigns.
Dude, I'm telling you, I think that's what she wants. And honestly, I hear what you're saying where that's not what she's traditionally done. Historically, it's just not top. Charlotte's whole purpose seems to be to take that record away from her father, period. Like, that's where they're going. She's going to there will be a Flair
she will
on that record.
That. Yes.
Yeah, and she will. But I don't know. I feel like, okay, so for you, and I think I know the answer to this already, but do you value a 16, like the number of title reigns and say, hey, 16-time champion, that'd be awesome, or 17-time champion, that'd be awesome? Or would you rather have that one quality, record-breaking championship reign where she
needs quality, because when she breaks it, it's gonna feel empty.
Yeah,
like instant reaction, like you did it, Hank. All that good stuff. Congrats, but it'll be very forgetful. I think people will still think that Ric Flair will still be the title holder. Honestly, man, I think it will be forgetful. So.
John Cena. I mean, John Cena too. Like, they share that reign, and John Cena had long title reigns.
Yeah,
like he actually did have basically a year-long title reign. So yeah. So I think the more I think about it, and the more I go back to that discussion, because I was ready to say, Charlotte's had so many championship reigns. Like, why get so upset about this moment? And having Becky have that championship first, so that she could have both belts at the same time and have that Becky 2 belts, moment.
Yeah, I peeped that, man. Like, what was like? Why did that moment matter? Like, you saw she wanted the SmackDown belt so she could hold them. Like, man, you ain't about to do this on my watch, nah.
Right? Exactly.
You ain't slick.
Charlotte was not having it. I get it for Becky, because she's, she has that moniker, the Becky 2 belts. I understand why Becky wants it, but I more and more am understanding why Charlotte maybe felt a certain type of way about that happening. So yeah, man. I mean, I don't completely blame Charlotte for what she did, but maybe it could have been done in a different way. It's kind of, I mean, it's not on the same level of this, but you go back to the Montreal screw job with Shawn and Brett. Like, I can understand why they felt they had to do what they did, but it still feels a little bit shitty that they did it the way they did it. You can't have this man leave the company with the championship. You can't have that happen.
Nah,
but at the same time, in Montreal, against his will, basically,
his didn't tell crowd. Tell him to finish.
Dude, like, you just, it's shitty, man. Like, it's so shitty. And then even after the fact, for Shawn to just be like, I don't know what happened. I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off just like you. What?
Was fucked up that you saw the backstage, and Brett asked Shawn, like, did you know about this? And Shawn was like, no, I didn't. Swear to God.
I swear to God, I didn't know. I swear.
I was like, well.
I'm like,
wow.
Wow. This guy's a professional liar.
That's what I said. He was like, swear to God, I didn't know. Well, out of breath and shit. I was like, ooh.
That is
I
bad.
can see why they had it falling out.
Yes. Yes. So, it's sometimes there are decisions that, it makes sense, for Charlotte. I get it. I get why she didn't want to do that. And even Becky, like, I get why she wanted it, but the way all this was going down, it's like, it's still kind of like, could Charlotte have just maybe like given it to like say, hey, let's just do this at the same time, or something. I don't know. It's not. There's no
Or
perfect
even
answer
to
for
what
this.
Jove said last week, just hand the titles to Sonya
To
Deville.
Sonya directly. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like,
And she just could have exchanged them herself.
because I think they both wanted what they wanted. Becky wanted to have the Becky 2 belts moment, and she wasn't backing down. And Charlotte didn't want her to have that moment on her watch, and she wasn't backing down. And that idea makes sense to us, but to them, and honestly, in no shade to either one of them, but to their egos, neither one of them was willing to compromise before they got in front of millions of people watching at home. And so basically it just kind of broke down. That clash, we saw what happened. Becky won it. She tried to get it. And I finally saw the replay where it actually all happened.
So you saw the unedited version.
Yep. They actually put it up on their YouTube channel, which is crazy. They didn't show it. Yeah, the feed that I saw of SmackDown, it was cut out. But on WWE's YouTube channel, they have the moment unedited. And I said, this is weird. Because I watched it, I'm like, nah, this is going to be edited. But I checked it out anyway because I wanted to see the moment again. Yeah. And it was unedited. And I'm like, oh, shit. Because I saw it. I saw her reach, and I saw Charlotte have it out here, and then she dropped the belt. And then Sonya tells her, pick it up. Pick it up. Yeah. So Charlotte to pick it up. And, they had all that in there. Yeah, on their YouTube channel. It's crazy.
Wow.
Like, things that they edit out, but then they put it on the YouTube. I don't know.
Maybe because they got a good ratings bump from it. It's like, oh shit, you know what? We need to use this. Right. 100%. Let's tell a story with this. 100% for Survivor Series.
Exactly why they did
Clip it.
So with Charlotte, I mean, from my vantage point, it's really early, to say boom or bust. Yeah. I mean, I will say this, that as far as the beginning of it, it's kind of a bust because handing over the championship like that, and she still really hasn't had she had a match. It wasn't for the championship, but she had a match already. But just the beginning of this title reign, it's kind of gotten off to a really awkward, weird start. So right now, I'm gonna say so far it's a bust. Her as SmackDown champion, and we'll see where it goes from here. It's Charlotte. Charlotte can turn it around. Will she? I don't know, but I'm gonna say bust when it comes to Charlotte.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. If we're gonna be technical, because when she was a Raw Women's Champion, it was actually booming.
It was a boom.
Her bills was shit, but the matches were slapping though. Actually, it was crazy. The Rhea Ripley's or. Nikki Ash, even those were just fire wrestling quality. Exactly, but the bills were, but becoming SmackDown, it's a countdown for her. I think Sasha's going to take it off. Yeah, it's only a meaning of time before she take it off, becomes new SmackDown Women's Champion, and I don't know what they're going to do for Charlotte. Honestly, after that, after she drops the title, like.
She's going to get it right back on
division
SmackDown. They may go right back
and forth like they did
Sasha
in the early years.
You went on a pay-per-view, I went on SmackDown.
Yeah, there we go. We're going to go back to that format, Sasha, when you can't even win it at the pay-per-view no more.
I hope not, but it's these two again. That's how it started. So we'll see. Real quick, too, before we move on here, two things. How do you feel about Sasha being a face? Because that just happened. And how do you feel about Shotzi being a heel? Because that just happened.
Don't like it. Don't like it. Either one. Because I saw how the crowd responded to Shotzi. They was cheering, bro. Cheering for her. They was just 100%. Behind her. And then just a flip of a switch. She just went heel and started yelling, "Get away from me!" And then I'm like,
"This is your fault." This
right? Is your I'm like, "Oh, they gonna make her heel." Right? I'm like, "Hold on, how you gonna make her heel? She comes out in a tank. Are you gonna nip the tank then?" Right?
You got to get rid of the tank.
You do. Mm-hmm. But that's her stick, though, man. The tank. I'm like, it's a bad call.
And she's still doing the Like everyone's gonna do that. Like the
I
fans are
love
gonna
it.
do that.
I love the how. I'm a big Shotzi fan.
Yeah.
She's one of my favorite. Actually,
Yeah.
my favorite right now. You know, even in NXT, she's still my favorite. I got one. I got a Shotzi shirt.
Yep.
And I hate it for Sasha Banks as well, man, because the heel, that's her natural character.
It's not logical the way it happened.
No, it's not.
It's not logical. She came out and she still felt like a heel at first, and then Shotzi comes out and she's rooting for Shotzi. Why?
Like, come on, Shotzi. I'm like, what?
Yeah, you can do it. Stay on her. Stay on her. Where did this come from? Are you guys friends and we just never saw it before? Like
it didn't make a lick of sense. I ain't seen no backstage segment. I saw SmackDown twice, so it was no backstage segment, no exclusive YouTube scene, no pre-show special, nothing like that. No Raw talk, nothing like
Talking
that.
Smack from
Talking
the week
smack,
before where they
none of that. WWE bump, all that shit.
Main event.
Right. Nothing that told that these two were friends or anything like that, man. It was just like a flip of a switch.
Yeah.
You know, just Shotzi blames Sasha. This is your fault. Ah! I was like, I don't like it. I do not like it. I'm going to give it time, but my instant reaction, I do not like it though.
Yeah.
I will give it maybe a couple of weeks to see if it can settle in, but I don't think it will though. I don't think honestly it will.
What should have happened was Sasha cheering for Shotzi was weird, but what could have fixed it is after all that, Sasha then jumped Shotzi at the end, or Shotzi looked like she's about to win, and then Sasha pulls Shotzi out of the ring and screws Shotzi over.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, wait, what the hell did you just do? Because she wants to fight Charlotte. So if Shotzi wins, that means Shotzi should get the next opportunity.
Yeah, because it was a contenders match, right?
Exactly. Right. So it's like, all right, you know, I came out here, I want my championship contenders matchup, and you say no to me, and then this newbie comes in, and she's getting the matchup, and she almost wins. This is ruining all my plans. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure she doesn't win. I'm going to yank her out the rope and say, who you think you are, you know, like I'm the boss, I run this, blah, 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 blah. They could fight, and then you have Shotzi kind of trying to fight off Charlotte and Sasha Banks, and she becomes this new hot babyface on SmackDown. Whereas you have these two heels for her to go against. And what if Shotzi can pull this off and become champion? Now she has Charlotte and Sasha as two main heels to help build her up into this super face on SmackDown.
I tell you, sir. I don't know what direction they're going with for SmackDown, but I don't like it. If it's going to be without the Tribal Chief, because that SmackDown episode without the Tribal Chief, that was a rough one. That was a rough one.
I was like, this feels like it's a little off the rails here, man. Even the Usos felt a little off, you know, without the Tribal Chief being there, I must say. Like, they went back to their, whoa. You know? And they kept going, and I'm just like, this kind of feels like we just went in a time machine a little bit. Like, you didn't feel like the ones, you know.
No.
Like,
bringing it back?
Bringing it way back. You know, like, okay, you guys weren't winning when you were doing this, like, you know, like you are now. You know what I'm saying? You would pull out some, you had some title reigns, absolutely, but the version of the Usos that we have right now, and this is probably a perfect transition to the Usos. Let's just go into the tag team champions. We'll get back to Intercontinental champion, but tag team champions, the Usos. You know, the title reign.
About that too, by the way.
Yes.
It kind of
says. Well,
I thought we was done at SmackDown. It's like, right.
Maybe they might tell you how we feel about it. Damn, boomer bust, but we'll get there. We'll get there. You know, the Usos as tag team champions. So this SmackDown, it felt a little rough. You know, when they had the whole thing with the New Day, which kind of brought back great memories of their past feuds. Seeing
freestyle battles and all that.
Freestyle battle, exactly. Hell in a Cell matches. Yeah. You know, when, you know, seeing this was right after King Woods just knighted Kofi. Sir Kofi Kingston. And great moment. Great, you know, just the way they did it all.
Hand
it was
of
awesome,
the King.
Man. The hand of the king, dude.
Yes.
It was awesome. That whole segment was just fun, man.
First,
So definitely,
yes, King Xavier Woods, first of his name, bringer of New Day.
New Days. Perfect. He has
Loved it.
truly been like
Yes.
working on this and planning for this and waiting for this moment.
Looking
You can
clean too. Looking real clean.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I like it. So then you got the Usos coming out, bringing out the old shtick, and they get in the ring and they're facing off with the New Day and going back and forth. And it was cool, but it was missing, the Chief. It was missing that extra swag that you get by being associated with the head of the table. So, that moment, it was cool, but it just was missing that little something. So, so as far as their tag team title reign goes, would you say it's a boom? Would you say it's a bust? Now, remember we're not talking about Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns' reign is a boom. The Usos as tag team champions, specifically them, their matches, everything, that's what we're looking at right now. And, I'm still trying to decide which way I'm going to go with this, to be honest with you. But, and Usos are my favorite tag team in wrestling. Like, I'll be honest about that too. Yeah. But what say you, sir? Boom or bust for the Usos title reign? 109 days, by the way. 109 days they've been tag team champions.
I'm glad you threw that little caveat in there, because I could say there he is, not the New Day, the bloodline, the Usos are associated with the head of the table of the boom title reign from the tribal chief himself, so they should be by association. But you do that caveat in, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna finite that. I'm not gonna use that. I'm not gonna use that as my driving point. But I would say their last couple of matches, man, with just with the New Day at Slap, the main event, and with who was it? The Street Profits, Extreme Rules. Those matches actually slap, man. They're having a good title reign. I think it's boom, not bust. They looking strong as well. They've been destroying all these tag teams as well during their title reign. Like Dominic Mysterio took care of them, took care of the Street Profits now. Look like they're about to have a renewed feud with New Day possibly. So it's trending in the right direction right now. So I'll say boom, not bust.
Okay. I'm a little torn because I feel like their matches have been great. I feel like it's hard to say the Usos ever have a bad match. Like, right. I don't think I've ever really been able to say that about the Usos. I feel like they always bring it. They're always fun to watch. Now, when it comes to story, like you said, by association, this is where it's a little tricky because Roman Reigns' story has been the best thing in wrestling for me personally. I feel like it's the best story, clearly. And they are a part of that story, but they're side players in that story.
They are.
I feel like I want to see the Usos have more of an intense story that they're dealing with, like an intense side story to what the Roman Reigns' main story is going, like if this was a video game, you got your side quest. Like it
seemed like they got away from that because that's how it formed at first. They was telling this story just not because of the tribal chief, but how he manipulates the Usos.
Yeah,
and it seems like slowly they got away from that, man.
Yeah, like now they're just on the same page, which kind of took some of the interest in their story away. And I find myself, when we were talking about them, on our last show, and I started mixing them up, which I haven't done that in a long time. Jimmy and Jay, I was like, we were talking about Jimmy, and I was thinking about Jay, and then I started doing the whole thing, and I was like, oh no, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like they've done a great job of establishing Jay. Like Jay stands out to me, and by association, Jimmy, nobody's bitch, stood out when he came back. Like, no, I'm not with that. I'm my own guy. Like, and I want my brother back. That it was like, oh my God, this story is so good for the Usos. But now it's like they're almost like just henchmen now. They're just there, and I'm like, okay, it's cool for Roman. For Roman to have his family having his back, it's perfect. It's totally fine. But for them, it's like maybe getting back with the New Day helps get us back on track with the Usos in terms of telling their own story. Because this is going to be a thing again, it seems like, where we're going to see the New Day, we're going to see King Woods and Sir Kofi Kingston versus the Usos for the tag team championships. It's going to happen. I wouldn't be
or King Woods going against the tribal chief.
I mean,
I think they might head in that direction.
So you think that's the next contender for Roman Reigns?
Possibly, because I always look at, because first of all, the Usos lost, in the main event, and based on the tribal chief, that's
his track record.
Disrespectful.
Disrespectful to get a win.
Right. You know how you feel about that.
That's true.
He's going to say something.
And he's gonna. I can't wait to see him come back and talk about that.
Me too.
I left for one day.
I think he's going to call out New Day. It might lead to a Kofi King Xavier Woods against the tribal chief. Couple of weeks, Bill. Okay. I don't know if it's pay-per-view worthy, but SmackDown special.
Well, because we're getting ready for Survivor Series, right? So maybe during SmackDown, one of these weeks, they just go ahead and do that as a main event matchup for because usually heading into Survivor Series, they'll still have championship matchups, and one of those matchups, sometimes the champion loses, so they could tease it like, Big E is going to go against the winner of King Xavier Woods versus Roman Reigns, And so will Big E have to go against his brother, or will he go against the guy that just whooped his brother's ass in Roman Reigns? Like, they might do that to help build anticipation for the Survivor Series matchup. So, yeah, I can see what you're saying. Like, I feel like that could be where they go, and they could end up doing both. They could end up having it be that, leading into Survivor Series, we get King Xavier Woods going against Roman Reigns, and then after he loses, because he's going to lose, we already know. Then we get back to maybe, the New Day wants to be tag team champions again, and then they go against the Usos after Survivor Series for whatever pay-per-view that's going to be, day one or whatever in January. So we'll see.
Status quo.
Exactly. So yeah, that's a good call. That King Xavier Woods could be the next one for Roman. But right now with the Usos, like I think right now in this moment, I'm going to say bust because the story right now feels flat for them.
Ooh,
as far as Roman, obviously, the bloodline as a group, yes. But them specifically, I feel like they have no story. Like, they're just henchmen. But this right here, Usos versus New Day, if they, try to bring up some of they can't go wrong with me having those two teams go against each other. They just can't. Like, I'm always going to be there for that story.
I think with me, it just helps with the Usos just having those slapping ass matches that it prevents me from calling their title run a bust. Because, if they didn't have those great matches, hell yeah, it would be a bust, especially just having no story, no build between. I thought, like I said, that was a missed opportunity between them and the Street Profits. Just give us a good story between them. Yeah. But instead, we just got a great match between those two teams.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think, you bring up great points, and I respect what you're saying. I feel like the one thing that comes to mind too while you were talking though is that there are some times where I do forget that they're holding those championships. It's not until I'll see them sometimes with Roman that I remember, oh yeah, they got all the gold. That's right. But I'll never forget that Roman's champion. I won't. It's just not going to happen. Right. Big E, I know he's champion. Becky, Charlotte, I know they just had that exchange, and it's on top of mine. But some of these other champions, you kind of lose sight of, like, wait, they're still holding the championships? Really? So that's kind of where I'm at with the Usos a little bit, that, right now in this moment, it just feels like it's a little bit flat. It's a little bit forgettable at times. And
relevant champion, maybe?
What's that?
A relevant champion? A little bit.
I won't go that far. Go that far because, again, now that gets back why they're not irrelevant is because it helps to establish what Roman is saying about
yeah.
we the ones,
bloodline, right?
You know, so it's relevant. It's definitely relevant, but it's just as far as story, I'm not as interested in the Usos from a storyline standpoint on their own without Roman Reigns. They're helping to elevate Roman, but I don't feel like there's anything story-wise that's elevating them short of they're hanging with the tribal chief. Like that's it, you know. So, but speaking of forgetting that someone is champion, Shinsuke Nakamura. I love Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. Entertaining as all hell. Every time they show up, you know, they don't even have to wrestle. They just show up, you know, and it's great. You know, it's fun. I sing along at home. You know, it's a fun time. But as Intercontinental Champion, that is what we're going to be looking at when we say boom or bust.
Yes.
As far as champion, elevating the championship, making it feel like something that matters. And for Shinsuke, him feeling like he is elevating too as a champion, not just as a superstar or just as a fun person to watch, but as a champion. Boom or bust. What say you?
I think we already know where we're going with this.
We kind of insinuated.
Right. I just got to say the words.
Yeah.
It's a bust. 100%. No doubt about it. Clear bust. It's more than times that I forget that, that's right. He's the Intercontinental Champion. Every time I watch SmackDown, they show him like, oh, yeah, that's right. I forget every time. Every time, bro. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Shinsuke, he's the Intercontinental Champion. He's holding the title. He's the current champion. And it's been so wasteful.
Yeah.
It's missed opportunity with that. Missed opportunity to build from when he was King Shinsuke. You know, I think they told a great story how he became king to take it off Baron. But they could have continued that for a character growth aspect for Shinsuke and Boots as well. If they want to present that as a package, and they could have gave us some good builds between him, whoever wants to challenge, maybe Chad Gable. You know, that would have been cool. Let's get a build between these two. You know what I'm saying? Chad Gable wants to be the IC champ. I would have loved to see that, man. You know, at the time when we had Finn Balor, we was there, man. I didn't, you know, just give me a build between those two. Just something for Shinsuke to make him feel relevant. Like he's still there, like he's part of the company, man. Because I don't. So it is decided he is a bust.
Yeah. It's sad to say, but I agree. I think it's a bust right now for Shinsuke. The title reign is a bust. He feels like a placeholder. Like they're just he's just holding the championship for a while.
Something until they real good. I'm sorry, bro. I'm distracted. Something smell real good.
Okay.
Got distracted for a minute. I'm like, I think I know who that is. So, yeah. Smell real good though.
Oh man.
I see you, babe. I'm like, man, that smells real good. Yeah.
Awesome.
Might not be no after hours. We'll see.
Fair enough. Oh man. Well, we'll hurry this up for you. No problem. But Shinsuke, you know, got a lot of love for Shinsuke, man. Like he's awesome. Just, you know, it's just sucks that the way they're booking him. It's not his fault. Like Shinsuke, you know, when he has his matches, you know, he is still the same guy. He's just not getting booked well. Like there's no storylines. Your point, Chad Gable, have a storyline with them. You know, like remember, it doesn't really matter what championship we're talking about. It's the wrestlers and their stories make the championship. It's not the other way around. Just putting a championship on somebody is not what elevates them at all. Some people, Seth Rollins does not need to have a championship ever again. He just does such a great job, period.
Without the title.
He doesn't need it. He does not. So for Shinsuke, it's not even about the championship necessarily. It's just the way they book him. It's just sad that they're booking him this way, and he's champion, and they're still booking him this way. It's like, really? Like, this is a great excuse for you to come up with some kind of storyline for this man. Who wants the championship? He's holding it. Who wants it? It feels like no one even cares. Like all the wrestlers, they don't even want it. Corbin is wrestling him, and he's not like, I want that Intercontinental Championship. He's just laughing.
Happy Corbin and Mad Cap, you know?
Yeah, Mad Cap. Yeah, right. It's like, what is this even for? Is he gonna get a title shot now, or like, what's going on, or like, I don't know. It just feels irrelevant, you know. Like when Chris Jericho had it, when The Miz had it, it seemed like it meant something, you know. And then, unfortunately, like Big E, I felt like it was starting to get there. Then they took it off of him for Apollo, which I'm like, maybe this will be something. And then it kind of tapered off there too. You know, now you got Shinsuke with it, and it's like, oh, okay, Shinsuke, this is kind of him getting back to prominence, and then now it's flat again. I don't know, man. Maybe they just need to go to open challenges again and just have Shinsuke like say, hey, like who wants it? You know, like make it the championship of opportunity. Whoever wants to step up and show, like, okay, I'm here, I've arrived. They could even have like some of these guys from NXT 2.0 show up one time. You get like one opportunity against Shinsuke Nakamura on SmackDown. Braun Breaker, let's go. Let's see what you got. You know,
at least that would help Shinsuke, at least to show him, all right, look, he's willing to fight to keep his championship, you know, take these open challengers.
Yeah.
At least that would help. I'm down for that thought.
Just give us
that
something.
idea.
Something.
Because, God, it's just a waste.
Yeah.
A waste.
Yeah. Yep. So as far as the SmackDown side, it's kind of interesting. So on the Raw side, we were almost unanimous with it all being booms. On the SmackDown side, we have a clear boom at the top with Roman Reigns. But then it kind of gets shaky with the rest of the champions. Yes, obviously we the ones. Roman Reigns, boom. For you, the Usos, still a boom pretty much by association, right? At the end of it, you were still at boom for them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because, you know, I said the matches they had.
The matches they have still make it, okay.
Yeah.
So, and I respect that. They're my favorite tag team, period. So, it's hard for me, but I want more. Maybe that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Like, I just want to see more from them. But when it comes to Shinsuke, I mean, unfortunately, as much as we love Shinsuke, it's a bust. And then with Charlotte, just the way it kind of started out so far, this is a new title reign. We have to throw out everything that's happened before and just look at this. And
what kind of off for me lately?
A rocky start. And it doesn't feel like this is going to last for too much longer. So
temporary.
Yes. So it looks like that's about to be a bust.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap up for part 1. Be on the lookout for part 2 along with the After Hours episode as well. Don't forget about that. And you can always find the awesome podcast and the video platform on our website, ClarkStreetWrestling.com, ST for the abbreviation. And don't forget about our merch. We got some great merch for you. Beach towels, hoodies, coffee cups, notebooks, even blankets. Yeah, I said it. We got blankets for this winter time up in here in the Shire to get all warm and closer to your significant other. So don't forget about it. ClarkStreetWrestling.com/store for your pleasure. It is decided.